I'm backing up my truck, I'm gonna hook it up, loading up my boat with all my gear. I've been working hard all week, trying to make ends meet, spending time wishing I was fishing. Well, Terry Wickstrom wants to take you fishing. Gather up your gear and come along. Well, Terry Wickstrom wants to take you fishing.
This is Terry Wickstrom. Join Karen Cullum, Greg Plaggio, and me as we take you to some of our favorite fishing spots from Colorado to Minnesota, the Arctic Circle to Central America and beyond. As we revisit episodes of Mountain States Fishing and Angling Adventures Television on the best of fishing with Terry Wickstrom.
Hey, we're out on Stagecoach Reservoir today, just outside of Steamboat Springs. About, what would you say, Jeff, about 3.5, 4 hour drive from the Front Range of Colorado?
Mm-hmm.
I'm with Jeff Arnold, and he has some of his cronies from the school district with him today. Why don't you introduce your friends?
This is Jim Kanauer, Maintenance Supervisor for the district. That's Bill Franzen, Executive Director of Operations.
And what school district is that?
That's Poudre School District.
So this is kind of the Poudre School District pike fishing outing.
It is.
Absolutely. Actually, what we want to do today, these guys have been generous enough to join us and help us look for some pike and show you another one of the many fishing experiences that exist here in the Mountain States. And pike fishing is great in Colorado. There really is a number of lakes. There's Williams Fork, there's the 11-mile Spinney, there's Navajo, Valsito, Taylor. Stagecoach is one that probably doesn't get mentioned as much as the others.
It doesn't seem to get as much pressure as a lot of the other ones do.
Now, our expectation today is we're going to catch a lot of fish, but mostly small ones.
That's how it's been for the last few days. We fished it yesterday and caught some small fish. Didn't see any big ones. You never know.
Yeah, and this lake does hold some big pike, though. I mean, some 40, 45-inch pike, probably in the 10 to 20-pound class range.
No doubt.
And most of the lakes in Colorado that have pike are like that. We're going to show you some different techniques. We're going to do a lot of casting. I don't know, we may do some trolling. We may do some fly rod fishing. We're going to show you a lot of techniques, hopefully get into a bunch of small fish, and then show you, if maybe we'll get that one big one, but just show you how you can come out, have a really good time, enjoy this lake, have fun. And even the small pike fight like crazy on light gear, and if with the expectation that big one could hit at any time, it's always fun.
They're heart-stopping sometimes.
It is. Lots of teeth and lots of sharp fins and lots of treble hooks, and hopefully no injuries and lots of fun. So if you can. All right. Not a big one, but a fish. Get us started. Here, get him up. A little Mep spinner. This lake is full. That's one of the things about pike. You know, you can come fish them and have fun. I got a pair of pliers right here. He really ate it. They're little pigs. You know, as small as that fish is, he took that spinner all the way down his throat. He cut me. Yeah, he cut me. When I had him by the gill plate, he tore his gill plate and cut me because he kicked because I was trying to hold him gently, trying to be a nice guy. Well,
you take those maps and just put a single hook on them.
Yeah. There's always when we're pike fishing, the first fish always cuts me. Then I'm okay for the rest of the day. He's got those hooks just buried in him. There we go. There he goes. There you go. There I am. Well, good job. First fish of the day. Didn't take long. That's one thing about fishing for pike like this is that even if you can't find the big ones right away, you can have a lot of fun catching fish.
Come up there and just take a look at you when they do a follow-up.
Well, people don't realize the pike fishing we have available in Colorado. I mean, there's Spinney Mountain, Valsito, Williams Fork. We're here at Stagecoach, 11 Mile, the Yampa River. There's such a number of lakes that have really good pike. I mean, where you can not only catch some small pike, but when it's going, you can catch some big, big pike. I mean, 20-pound plus fish. The state record is over 30 pounds. And that's a pretty good sized pike.
Yeah. It's available to a lot of people that haven't to go very far from, you know, the Front Range to get to it.
Well, yeah, I mean,
this is kind of unusual here, but you can catch them all along the Front Range.
Yeah, people, well, you said you went up to Canada. Well, you know, you can pay a lot of money to fly up to Canada, and it's fun, and it's definitely a wonderful experience. But you can experience a lot of that right here without having to pay so much, make a short trip and have some fun. A little better one.
Oh. A little spunk to him.
I tell you what, they don't have to get very big to fight. It's not a huge fish, but it's spunky. And on spinning gear, it'll give you all you want.
Yeah.
Get him over here, I'll just grab him and unhook him so we don't get all those trebles in the net. This is where they usually get me with the treble hooks. Look, they don't like to be picked up. You know, we're gonna let you go if you just be nice. There we go. Get a hold of them here. They're so slippery. Once you get them right there,
you have those pliers?
You can hold them right here. Okay. Not a big fish, but fun fish. Let him go so it wouldn't get the hook in me. We'll just unhook him right in the water now that everybody got to see him. One of the things there he goes. He was almost unhooked when he came loose. One of the things you got to be careful with this. I'm not so worried about the fish cutting me as I'm putting a treble hook in my hand.
Yeah.
And of course he's got a mouthful of treble hooks in him. All right, we'll see.
When I'm catching the fish and you're having to unhook him there.
That's all right. We don't mind that. As long as we're catching fish, we don't care. I get him over where. There we go. Another little pike. I mean, there's a lot bigger fish than this in here. I mean, we've seen and heard fish over 42 inches caught in here, but there's a bunch of these. You can have a fun day, catch 20 or 30 of these and just have the time of your life.
Oh, it's
light tackle.
It's a kick.
And they are good to eat, by the way. You know, we're not keeping any today, but they encourage you to harvest the pike here. And they don't have to get very big to have some meat on them. Now, there's a lot of Y bones in them, but it's white meat and they taste really good. So if you want to keep a few to eat, that's fine too. Well, I better go back and see if I can catch another one.
I think you're overdue.
Yeah, there we go. Another little one.
All right.
You know, for their size, they pull low. I mean, this is a medium action bait casting rod. He just bends it right over. And every time I go to pick one of these up, he has a mouthful of treble hooks. Another little one. My pliers back there, or? Well, they're in that cup back there, cup holder. He's got the line twisted around the hook. As soon as I reach for him, he's going to kick and put a hook in me. All right. Well, he's got that. I gotta get a better grip on him or I'm going to get a hook in me.
Need some help?
No, I get it. Right here, the way he's hooked, I don't want to. He's not that big, but the one thing you really got to be careful even with these small pike when you're fishing crankbaits like this is that they'll kick all of a sudden and cut you with their teeth or their gill plate or put one of these sharp hooks in you. I've got these Eagle Claws new Kale trebles on my crankbait that hold good so you don't lose a fish. There we go. But they can, not a big fish, but a lot of fun to catch. So that one, that's the rod behind the boat, got one?
Yeah.
This one hung up and you got one. Is it pretty good size? Well, it's bigger than what we've been catching.
A little bit bigger, isn't he?
Yeah. Let me straighten the boat out here before we get tangled up and help you land them.
He's staying calm right now. 4
lines out, trolling for pike. Now you can imagine what this is gonna get like. We get about a 15-pounder on. All right, go ahead and bring him over here. That's fatter than the other ones. Okay, if you grab those pliers. You get this back one out first, then we can.
Oh boy, he's got him. He really got him.
Give me those needle nose. Yeah. Get this one out first. We take them as we go, then we can get. Okay. Okay, I got a good hold on him. All right. All right, that's a pretty nice fat fish.
Thank you, Terry.
Well,
Next time, hook.
let's turn around and we'll tell the people. I guess all our lines are okay right now. Tell them a little bit about what we started doing. You've seen us do this on the show before. We're catching a number of small fish. Thought we'd do a little moving around, try to find the bigger fish. We thought, let's troll. So being the genius I am, I said, let's put out 4 lines, 2 planer boards and 2 flat lines. So
we got stuff going all over, and this one grabbed the rod right behind the boat. Fortunately, it didn't cross everything up.
my rod got hung up, and while it was hung up, you were reeling in and caught this fish, or was it on there when I got hung up?
No, I just picked it up, and he just hit as I was just picking it up. I was going to reel it in and get it out of the way. So
But
he whacked it.
that's a nice, decent, I mean, I tell you what, come down, catch a number of fish like this, have a really good time. There's nothing wrong with catching fish like that. That's good. Did you want to keep any to eat?
Actually, this size is not bad for eating. You get a fairly good sized fillet off of there.
Did you want to keep any or not?
If he's survivable, we'll let him go.
I think he is. Should we put him back in?
Yeah.
All right. He'll be here for you to catch. Yeah, he's survivable.
Yeah.
Good job.
Okay, thanks.
We're probably here a little too late.
Probably a little late, although it's hard to tell because years change and weather's changed. It happens it's been pretty hot this spring. So it's warmed the water up quite a bit.
You've actually had better luck catching bigger pike when the water was what, down in maybe the 50s, 60, low 60s?
Right around that 60-degree range, high 50s.
And we're pushing close to 70 degrees water now in the high 60s, and the bigger pike especially, do tend to go a little deeper when the water gets warmer. So really, if you were planning a trip out here, when do you think you'd probably watch the weather? I mean, probably early June would be more likely than late June.
Oh, probably Memorial Day to first or second week of June.
And see, we're out here, it's the very end of June, and we've had a fairly good warm streak out here. The lake has got good water level. Have you fished this in the fall at all?
You know, I haven't. I've stopped by here in the fall and I've seen guys with some good trout and a few good pike. It's really underfished in the fall. A lot of times this campground is mostly empty by October. Pike.
On that light tackle again. I just lost one on that. I'm ready to net him because
He's got enough gumption to take a little drag. Okay, ready?
all right.
Okay.
Well, he doesn't like what I'm doing, does he?
He's not real thrilled about it. He's not at all excited.
I'm a lot more happy when there aren't 10 treble hooks in them too. I think I can just get this
You
one.
get it? Okay.
Maybe not, I lied.
It's one thing I learned fishing by myself for pike is to keep pliers handy.
Oh yeah. That's not as big as the last one, but that's
Nope.
a nice, solid, fun to catch fish on light tackle.
Nice chunky little fish.
I mean, you could, hey, you come out and spend a day catching these. Well, you saw the way that rod was bent.
About 20, 21 inches.
Got a golden rule right there. Pull it out. We'll see how big it is. See it right there? That right there.
Oh, there you go.
You can just hold it up. We'll see how big of a liar you normally are.
Yeah. Well, 19 and
Almost
3/4.
He's not as big a liar as I thought. See, you know, normally fishermen, they say 20 and I get the golden rule out.
I missed it by a quarter. Ah, he's fine.
Right at the boat.
Going?
Yeah, it's bigger than the ones I've caught earlier today. The lure was sitting in the water after the retrieve, just twitching, and he came up right by the boat and hit it.
Looks good. What'd you get him on?
The new Berkeley Frenzy, it's minnow shaped that I switched over. I was using the trout one before. This is the minnow colored one with the red bottom. This is bigger than the other ones. Whoa.
Need help?
No, I think I can get him. It's not that big. It'll be all right. Keep fishing. We need some more.
Okay.
You know, on this light bass tackle with no steel leader and 10-pound test line, everything you shouldn't do to fish for pike. He's getting kind of worn out now, so I can probably get him. He's gonna want to hook me, though. I know he is. All right.
There you go.
The player's handy. Here, right here. I got him. He's not hooked too bad. I should be able to get him out pretty easy. That wasn't bad at all. There we go. little better pike. Not a huge monster, but a fun fish to catch.
Anytime.
Hey Jeff, let's take a minute while we're out here and talk to the people about some of the different lures we've been catching fish on, some of the things we were going to use, and maybe some of the things that you can use if you go pike fishing, whether it's Stagecoach Reservoir or 11 mile or spinny. These are lures and techniques that really are good pike lures anywhere you fish.
Okay.
Some of the things we used, well, a couple different plugs. We started taking bait casting gear and casting a lot of crankbaits and plugs. We caught one.
I caught one on this. This is basically a big sucker imitation. It's got a slow swimming action. It's good for trolling. In fact, we were trolling when we caught that one.
Right.
You can see some dent marks in this one. This has been a good plug. It's a Rapala Husky jerk here and at 11 mile. Also in a rainbow configuration because these pike do eat the stalker trout when they stalk them. They catch people too.
Well, some of the hardware I threw were the biggest fish I caught actually came on this Frenzy black and white minnow imitator with the red bottom. It's a chrome finish. This is also available one that doesn't have as much red in the bottom. This is the shallow diver. It only goes down a few feet. The fish was right up, followed it in, and hit it right by the boat. Another lure that I used quite a bit and in two different styles. This is a Berkeley Frenzy rainbow trout color. This is a deep diver we trolled with. We've been throwing some spinners too, some spinner baits like these big clothespin type bass spinners, and also some big inline spinners like these big MEP spinners that I use for muskies and for pike, which are very good. We went by some people who were throwing 3-inch plastic grubs, very much like this Berkeley Power grub I have in this jig head right here. And they said they had caught quite a few. And we kind of looked at each other, well, you know, we've talked about that, we've talked about it, let's try it. We tied on some plastics, and in no time flat we were catching some fish. They were deeper than we thought, and they were maybe a little more lethargic than we thought. So the deeper, slower presentation of the soft plastic really kind of turned the day around for us.
It really did. It really changed things. It's not the first thing you think of when you fish for pike. In fact, I was lucky I had a couple in my tackle box because I didn't bring them. I usually think of these for other things. But it's just a little smoke, silver, and red tube jig, and casting it out and fishing it fairly slow, just kind of bouncing along, swimming along. And
actually, the biggest fish we've caught
it
to this point came on that lure.
Yeah, this turned out to be a good move.
And a couple others, I have some here. Another jig that I cast and caught some fish on was this 4-inch Berkeley Power grub. A little bigger presentation, chartreuse tail, white body, got some hits on that. In fact, a number of different plastics got some hits, different colors. The neutral one seemed to get the bigger fish. We seemed to get a few more strikes maybe on the bright ones. All right, on the plastics. We switched
on a little tube jig.
We switched over to plastics, and it kind of changed the day for us, didn't it?
Not a bad fish, Terry. It's taking some drag.
I got the net out on this one because we got these light lines of plastics. I may try to net them because they could break the line pretty easy trying to hand land them.
Well, I tell you, on light tackle, this guy's about all you want.
I'll tell you what, I guess so. We're using lighter tackle than we were using before. If we get into a big chip fish, there's a good chance we won't even be able to land them, but boy, we're going to have fun trying. This is a nice fish, though.
He's gradually tiring down. He's probably going to go into the boat here once or twice.
If you can get up close to the surface, I'll get him.
Yeah,
I don't mind netting them so bad with plastics either because we don't have 6 treble hooks in there.
Exactly. That helps a lot.
Yeah, I'm going to get this net wet.
Okay. Okay, I think I can slide him up here where you can get him.
Well, that's a nice solid fish. There we go. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
All right. Nothing wrong with. Oh, that's a nice. He's fat and healthy, and he doesn't like the fact that you caught him. He's gonna try.
Not real happy about it, is he?
He's gonna try to get me, but I think I got a good hold on him now. All right.
Okay. Well, you
There
got
we
that
go.
technique down. That's not easy to do.
Here we go. That's a nice, fat, healthy fish. Way to go.
That was fun.
All right. Let me show it. Let's show the people what you switched over to here. I'm gonna get the pliers because I just don't feel like the teeth in these just aren't exactly. They still got a lot of teeth, even though we only got 1 hook.
Yeah, lipping them is out of the question. Look at those things.
There we go. Can I show one shoes? That's a
Well, it's a little smoke, silver, and red tube jig.
and
Light, sharp hook. I just got a little bit of 12-pound test here
as a
for
shock
a
leader.
shock tip it, and then 6-pound test up here.
I'll tell you, we switched over to plastics because they're just the bite was slow. We caught a lot of fish, but I tell you what, it sure paid off. We're not keeping Ace. We'll get him back in the water and see if we can get some more.
All right.
Way to go. I should have revived him a little bit before I put him in, but he's doing okay.
Oh, he'll figure out he's free in a minute.
He didn't like the fact that we caught him. Look at him go there. There he goes.
He just wasn't sure what was happening.
Yeah. Good job. Hey, that's great.
Okay, let's fish.
Let's work some more of these plastics.
Yeah,
Good
on this
deal.
thing.
You bet. Well, Jeff, it looks like we got some weather blowing in, maybe.
It's getting that way.
Yeah, it's probably time for us to reel it in and head back to the Front Range of Colorado.
It's been a blast.
Thanks for setting this up today. And I want to thank your friends from the Poudre Valley School District.
Poudre School District.
Poudre School District, and thank them for joining us, and I hope they had a good time. You know, there's tremendous pike opportunities that exist in Colorado. Take some of the techniques we've shown you today, get out and try them. Pretty sure you'll catch some fish if you go to the lakes that have pike, and there's always that chance you're going to hook into that big 20, 30 pounder, you know, or even maybe a 15 pounder.
Yeah.
Come out and try Stagecoach. It's a great reservoir with great facilities. Get out, try it, catch some of the pike, enjoy yourself, and join us next week on Mountain States Fishing.